Hi, I'm Jennifer Main at withjennifer.com and just wanted to share a little information about Autumn's series on initiation and awakening. So we're going to connect for 5 live calls. These calls are going to include some deep teachings, some things I haven't taught before, so things I've been meditating on and working with over the past couple years. So I'm really excited to bring some of this content forward and teach it in a new way. So we've got 5 calls that will include the teachings, some time for meditation and healing. So, space to really integrate and embody the information for it to settle into you on a cellular level so you can understand it intellectually and energetically and emotionally as well. So our first call is going to be around the cycles of existence. And this call is really about time and what time does for us, how life works in cycles, and how each cycle gives us the capacity to learn in a deeper way. So things that we may have had an understanding of or a facet of understanding of, time is a tool that allows us the space and the capacity to see it from a different angle, to learn it in a new way, to maybe receive it in a different way. So there's a deepening of understanding, a deepening of the healing that comes with each of these cycles. So really allowing ourselves to start to understand how, even though it may seem very complex, because it is, there's a rhyme and a reason to these cycles. And the more we can embrace and embody that, the easier the lessons and the awakenings become. So our second event is going to be looking at karmic loops. And this is something I've taught some before, but it just keeps coming up in sessions. It was really prevalent with our eclipses that we just experienced. And so it felt like there was an opportunity to share some of this information again. So really looking at the difference between karmic relationships and soul relationships. And yes, there can be some overlap. Some of your soul relationships will have karmic cycles playing through them, oftentimes creating some of the difficulties, the frustrations, the issues with communication, really being able to see and hear each other. Because oftentimes we've got multiple timelines and projected ideas and identities that are complicating things. So, that call is really to kind of help clear the lens, to help, resolve what you're projecting onto other people or what you're seeing in them that maybe isn't there, or maybe is something from the past that you're bringing into the present. So within that call, which is the 6th of November, we're going to kind of be able to kind of pick apart what is untrue so that you can see the truth of the other person, see the truth within yourself, and develop a relationship that's going to be based in healthy boundaries, respect, honor, all the virtues, the values, the things that we really want to be experiencing in life. So our third call for initiation is going to be the 20th of November, and that one's going to be about endings. So for those of you who are into astrology and have worked with Pluto and the Pluto cycles, it's death and rebirth, it's endings and beginnings. And so we're going to start that call just talking about endings because we resist them so much. We are so scared of them on a human unconscious level because we're afraid that we're going to lose part of ourselves. We're not going to know who we are. We're afraid that we're going to miss out. We're afraid of, even the things we don't like, if we find some comfort in them being stable or known, we will resist letting something go or letting something end or letting something complete or create some closure because we're just so used to holding on to it and perpetuating it. So this is really about, the lesson. There's a lesson in, it's the die before you die. How much of yourself, your identity, and the untrue things within you can you just allow to die to create space for something new? So that call on the 20th of November is really in creating some comfort in the discomfort and allowing yourself to explore what it would be to allow endings to occur more gracefully, more naturally, and more in timing with your higher self, with your divine purpose. So our fourth call on the 4th of December is about navigating the liminal from death to rebirth. So kind of that space in between and what it takes to move between those two from one to the other. And again, we are doing this on different levels all the time. We have endings and beginnings every day, every hour, every week, every month, every season. We're navigating endings and beginnings all the time. So this isn't something that's unnatural or that's difficult. We're wired for it. It's only when we fight it, and it's only when we feel like we are either going to get lost in that in between, or we don't know how to start the new beginning. That's where we feel lost within ourselves, because we're kind of in that in between state. The reality is that if we can just lean into the new beginning, if we can find that inspiration, the courage that's required of that, we don't get lost in that liminal in between. So yeah, this call is really about learning how to embrace the excitement and the anticipation and the unknown that often lies ahead of us. Our logical minds can't always know what's going to happen. Our intuition can tap into that. So some of this is also about allowing ourselves to move deeper into our intuitive states so that we can guide ourselves to the next step, to that new beginning and into that new paradigm. Our fifth call for the season is the soul's journey to awakening. So with this one, we're really going to kind of encompass everything, all these teachings about time, about karma, these loops that are working through, and the aspects of endings and beginnings, so that we can really get a sense of zooming out to understand who and what we are as souls, and then bring that back to us as humans so that we can remember. It's really about remembering. Who and what you are on those grander, more eternal scales. It's allowing your physical humanness, this plane, to remember, to witness it, to expand so that it can encompass and embody more than maybe what we're taught growing up, or what's talked about more regularly in society or in culture. So this initiation and awakening is some of my favorite stuff to teach and talk about. I'm really excited about the content of each of these. I feel deeply moved and really honored to be able to share this information with you. You are welcome to join our Remembering Collective for the next couple months, where you'll receive the recordings are held there. It's like a digital library. There's lots of stuff in there for you to go through, and you'll automatically be signed up for each of these events. And or you can just book in as and when you choose to. So if there are any of these events that call to you, please feel free to book in. You can find everything through my website, withjennifer.com, on the events page. It is all there for you. But if there are any questions, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. Thanks.